Hello, and welcome back to Top 10s You Should Know. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most underrated but powerful tools for success: communication. No matter your field, your role, or your ambitions, your ability to connect with people, express yourself clearly, and leave a lasting impression will define how far you go in your career. So let's break down the top 15 communication skills for career growth. Each one a skill that can take you from overlooked to unforgettable. 1. Active listening. Most people think communication is about speaking, but in reality, it begins with listening. Active listening isn't just hearing words, it's giving your full presence, absorbing the message, and responding thoughtfully. In the workplace, when you actively listen to a client, a boss, or a team member, you make them feel valued, which builds trust. This means silencing your inner dialogue, avoiding the temptation to prepare your response while they're still talking, and using nonverbal cues like nodding or leaning in to show genuine interest. Pausing before replying also demonstrates thoughtfulness. 2. Clear and concise speaking. Clarity is everything in communication. Long-winded explanations, jargon, or filler words weaken your message. In professional settings, people don't have time for vague statements. They want directness. Being concise doesn't mean being cold or robotic. It means structuring your thoughts before speaking, choosing words that carry weight, and trimming unnecessary fluff. For example, instead of saying, "I was just kind of thinking maybe we could potentially consider changing this approach," you could say, "I suggest we try a new approach because it may improve results." The difference is striking. One shows hesitation, the other confidence. Number 3, nonverbal communication mastery. What you don't say often speaks louder than what you do. Body language, posture, eye contact, hand gestures, and even your tone of voice communicate volumes before your words even land. Imagine a candidate slouching, avoiding eye contact, and speaking softly during an interview. The message is insecurity, regardless of the words. Now imagine someone with an upright posture, steady eye contact, and controlled gestures that signals confidence and competence. To grow in your career, learn to master your nonverbal cues. Maintain open posture to appear approachable, regulate your tone to match your message, and use eye contact to show trustworthiness. 4. Persuasive communication. Persuasion isn't manipulation. It's about influencing decisions through logic, credibility, and emotional connection. In the workplace, persuasion can help you sell ideas, secure approvals, or motivate your team. The key lies in 3 elements: ethos, credibility, logos, logic, and pathos, emotion. For example, if you're proposing a new project, don't just say, "It's a good idea." Build your case with data, logos, show your expertise or experience, ethos, and connect emotionally by painting a picture of the positive impact, pathos. Strong persuaders also understand the audience, tailoring the message to resonate with what matters to them. Number 5, empathy in communication. One of the most overlooked career boosters is empathy. When you communicate with empathy, you don't just deliver information, you acknowledge feelings, perspectives, and challenges. This doesn't mean being overly emotional. It means understanding where others are coming from and responding accordingly. For example, when giving feedback, an empathetic communicator doesn't just say, "This was wrong." Instead, they might say, "I see the effort you put into this, and I think with a small change, it could be even stronger." Empathy softens difficult conversations and strengthens relationships. In leadership, it builds loyalty. Among colleagues, it fosters collaboration. 6. Public speaking confidence. Public speaking is a career game changer. Whether it's presenting in a meeting, pitching to investors, or speaking at a conference, your ability to stand in front of people and deliver with confidence can make or break opportunities. Many professionals avoid public speaking out of fear, but those who master it unlock doors others can't. The secret isn't about being flashy. It's about preparation, structure, and connection. Start with a clear opening that grabs attention, move through a structured message, and end with a memorable takeaway. Practice is crucial. The more you rehearse, the more natural you become. 7. Asking better questions. Many people focus on giving answers, but asking the right questions is equally powerful. Great communicators know that questions guide conversations, reveal insights, and show curiosity. In the workplace, asking thoughtful questions like, "What's our biggest challenge here?" or "How will this impact the client's experience?" demonstrates engagement and critical thinking. Questions also invite collaboration rather than dominating the discussion. They make people feel valued because you're drawing on their knowledge. For career growth, asking smart questions during interviews, meetings, or negotiations sets you apart as someone strategic, not just reactive. 8. Storytelling for impact. Facts tell, but stories sell. Storytelling is one of the most underrated communication skills in professional growth. Think about it. When you present data, people may nod, but when you frame that data with a story about a client, a struggle, or a success, it becomes unforgettable. Storytelling isn't about exaggeration. It's about structuring information in a way that hooks attention and inspires action. For example, instead of saying, "We increased sales by 20%, you could say, "Last year, we were struggling to connect with customers. But by redesigning our approach, we not only solved their problem, but also grew sales by 20%. Same data, different impact. Stories activate emotions, and emotions drive decisions. 9. Negotiation skills. Negotiation is a career survival skill. Whether you're asking for a raise, closing a deal, or resolving conflicts, your ability to negotiate effectively determines how much value you create and keep. Good negotiators don't just demand, they prepare, research, and find win-win outcomes. For example, instead of saying, "I want a higher salary," a skilled negotiator frames it as, "Based on my contributions and industry benchmarks, I believe an adjustment would align my role with market value, and here's how I plan to deliver even more." This way, you're not just asking, you're providing a case. Negotiation requires confidence, but also flexibility, knowing when to push, when to compromise, and when to walk away. 10. Written communication excellence. In today's digital age, so much of your career depends on how well you write. Emails, proposals, reports, even LinkedIn posts. Sloppy writing creates misunderstandings and damages credibility, while polished writing builds authority. Great written communication is clear, structured, and tailored to the audience. For example, a strong email subject line saves time, while bullet points can make complex updates digestible. Writing with professionalism doesn't mean being stiff. It means being precise, respectful, and engaging. As remote work grows, your writing often represents your first impression, so every word counts. 11. Confidence without arrogance. Confidence makes people listen. Arrogance makes them turn away. The fine line between the two is self-awareness. A confident communicator shares their ideas with assurance, but remains open to feedback. They say, "Here's my perspective. What do you think?" Instead of, "I'm always right." Confidence signals leadership readiness, but arrogance erodes trust. For career growth, learn to balance assertiveness with humility. Acknowledge others' contributions, admit when you don't know something, and give credit where it's due. People love working with confident professionals who don't let their ego get in the way. 12. Adaptability in communication. Not everyone communicates the same way. Some people prefer quick summaries, others need detailed explanations. Some respond to data, others to emotions. Adaptability is the ability to flex your style based on your audience. For example, when speaking to executives, you might focus on the bottom line impact, but with your team, you may highlight the process. This adaptability makes you versatile and ensures your message lands effectively no matter the context. People who rigidly stick to one style often lose influence, while adaptable communicators can connect with anyone versatile, from CEOs to interns. 13. Conflict resolution. In every career, conflict is inevitable, but how you handle it defines your growth. Great communicators don't avoid conflict, they resolve it with fairness and tact. This means focusing on the issue, not the person, and guiding discussions toward solutions. For example, instead of saying, "You're wrong," you could say, "I see your point, but here's another perspective." Conflict resolution requires patience, empathy, and assertiveness. When you're the one who calms heated moments and restores collaboration, people see you as a leader, even if it's not your title. 14. Cultural awareness. In today's global workplace, cultural awareness is critical. Communication styles vary across cultures. What's polite in one country may be rude in another. A culturally aware communicator respects differences, avoids assumptions, and adapts to diverse environments. This skill is especially important if you work in international teams, client-facing roles, or leadership. Cultural sensitivity prevents misunderstandings and builds trust with global colleagues or clients. For example, learning basic greetings in another language or understanding time zone differences shows respect. 15. Feedback mastery. Giving and receiving feedback gracefully is one of the most underrated communication skills. Too often, feedback is either sugar-coated and unhelpful or blunt and demoralizing. A skilled communicator balances honesty with encouragement. When giving feedback, focus on behaviors, not personalities. Your report could be clearer if you added examples instead of, "You're not good at writing." When receiving feedback, avoid defensiveness and instead ask clarifying questions to improve. Mastering feedback makes you coachable, approachable, and trustworthy. And there you have it, the top 15 communication skills for career growth. Each of these isn't just about speaking well. It's about building trust, influence, and relationships that push your career forward. The better you communicate, the more doors open for you, from promotions to opportunities you never saw coming. Master these, and you won't just be another employee, you'll be the person everyone remembers.